Hello everybody and welcome back to my videos. Today I'm going to be doing a video about my fibromyalgia story. Okay, so first of all I'm just going to run through just a little bit on what fibromyalgia is. And I'm going to do it from my understanding because I've read lots of different conflicting information. From what I understand, fibromyalgia is your brain sends pain signals to your body even though it has no reason to be in pain. So, you know, when you go to the gym and you wake up feeling like your body's been set on fire because you've done a workout, my body will send those pain signals to my brain without having to do the exercise. Mainly muscles, and there are some joint pain as well. It can affect your stomach, it can affect your sleep, there's something called fibro fog, which means that you will get halfway through a sentence and forget what you were saying, or you find it really difficult to concentrate. It can be triggered by stress or overexertion. So if I do for any reason do exercise, which thankfully it doesn't happen very often, then that can affect my body. So if I do too much, like if I clean the whole house in one day and went to bed, I would wake up the next day feeling like I've been hit by. It can affect your mobility. I can't walk very far, especially on, you know, when I've flared up in pain. I'll have to get taxis or buses to places that I would normally be able to walk to. It's quite difficult. It does affect your everyday life, and it can make you depressed or anxious because people will look at you differently and look at the things that you used to do and look at the things that you now are not able to do. I'm going to be looking for a place of my own in the next few months, and I'm going to have to try and find a place with a bath because I'm not able to stand up in the shower for very long. Now, I'm not an expert. I have not read up on it probably as much as I should have done, and I'm not pretending that what I feel was the same as what everybody else with fibromyalgia feels, because I know everybody gets different levels and it affects everybody differently. So this is just me and my story. First of all, what triggered my fibromyalgia? Now that I don't know the answer to. They don't know what causes it, if it's hereditary, if it's something. They think that possibly certain illnesses or infections can trigger it, or post-traumatic stress disorder. And what I think has triggered it for me, or it's the only thing that I can think of that may have, you know, set it off based on the timeline, was just before I got my job that I've got now. I had a panic attack when I was stood outside my old job. I worked in a gay club, and I was stood outside after just going in and got my wages, and I started to get really bad chest pains and my arms were going tingly and I couldn't breathe. I sort of panicked and sort of didn't. I thought, Andy, you're over exaggerating, you've probably just, you know, walked too fast and put yourself out of breath, because that's something that can easily happen to me. To A&E, and they said, so I went in and sat down, they gave me some paracetamol for the pain, and they left me there for sort of 5 hours. So I thought, okay, I'm definitely not having a heart attack, because this is not the reaction that they would give if I was having a heart attack. So they got me in finally to see the nurse, and they put an ECG on me, they tested my heartbeat, they ran through some more tests, they gave me lots of questions, and the only thing that she thinks that it could have been put down to was a panic attack. Now, I've had panic attacks plenty of times before that, and nothing sort of rivaled this. If it was a panic attack, which I'm not saying she's wrong, it probably was, but I'd never felt anything like it in my life. I was crapping myself. I thought I was going to die. And I got put on a course for CBT, so I went to that in the, when was this? Okay, yeah, so this was August 2014. In the December of 2014 I went on a CBT day course for anxiety, which was quite helpful, but not really. It was helpful in the fact that it gave me more information about why I feel the way that I do, but in terms of coping mechanisms it was too broad a scale. And then by the sort of March in 2015 I'd started noticing that I was having some issues. I was in pain all the time, I felt so tired, and my sleeping pattern has never been great, but even when I was getting a lot of sleep I would still feel like I'd had 1 hour's sleep when I woke up in the morning. I was having to take a lot of time off of work because I just couldn't move. The amount of pain that I was in, it was completely different to anything I'd ever been through before. So around the May-June of 2015, I went to the doctors and gave them my long list of symptoms. There was issues with my bladder, there was issues with my stomach, issues with pain, issues with balance, swallowing. It all sort of came out of nowhere, and it hit me for 6, so I was getting quite worried. So I had blood tests done and loads of other little tests where I sort of had to walk in a straight line and make sure I didn't fall over and stuff. And when I went back to get my results, I was told I was severely deficient in vitamin D, which could have been contributing to the fatigue, and that they thought I had fibromyalgia. And my doctor said that the best thing for me to do would be to get acupuncture or look at massages. Now, at the time, I was broke. I was completely skint, and I still am, to be honest. There's no way I'd be able to afford to do those things now. So I sort of went back and I said, look, I can't afford to do these things. Is there anything that you can help me with? And they basically turned me away with nothing. I sort of had to try and manage it by myself. Now, I knew that stress was a trigger, and so was overexertion. So I was trying to not do too much, but do enough that my house still ran smoothly as a house should. Unfortunately, I was with a partner who wasn't very understanding, and they called me lazy and made me do things all by myself. So we had a 3-bedroom house, and I had to clean it all myself. I had to do all of the washing, all of the cooking, all of the cleaning, and I had all of the financial strain too. So stress levels and overexertion levels were something that I really couldn't adhere to in my house, because my partner, you know, if they came home and something wasn't done, I'd get called lazy. I dropped my hours to working 4 days a week instead of 5, trying to help me have a day where I can rest and not have to worry about travelling 40 minutes into town to go to work. And it got worse, and I was expected to do more on that day off, because I had a day off, I could get everything done. So I never really got a chance to rest. Now, I don't know if they did it maliciously or if they just didn't understand, but either way they made it very difficult for me. Went on that way. I was having more and more time off because I was overexerting myself and stressing about money and my relationship that was falling apart. And then it got to early 2016 when I split up with my partner and I moved out of the house, and my situation improved a lot at first. I didn't have a flare-up for a good few months after me and my partner split up, and I changed doctors. I changed doctors to one more local to me, and I went to see a doctor, and they said, okay, well, let's look at what else we can do. And I was put on medication. I am now on amitriptyline for my everyday pain. It's a neuropathic painkiller, so it is just to be taken once a day, and it sort of dulls the general aches and pains. And I've also now been prescribed with codeine to help in any flare-ups. So any days where it's specifically really bad, or I'm feeling like I need pain relief, I have got codeine to be able to use, and I've got I was also given anxiety medication as well. So all in all, yes, I am medicating, but I'm a lot better off now than I was when I was trying to just manage my symptoms with diet and gentle exercise and stress management. At the end of the day, life's going to throw what life throws at you. You can't manage your stress levels. You can't stop life in its tracks. Life still comes at you regardless of whether you need it to or not. It's never going to go away. They say that it's not degenerative, so that they say that it won't get worse over time. However, I have noticed that as time has gone on, my symptoms have worsened. Now, whether that's because of my lifestyle or my stress levels, I don't know, or if it is because of overtime, I'm not sure. But I do know that it has, since 2015 to 2017, I've gotten a lot worse. I've now had to drop another day at work, so I will from now on be working 3 days a week instead of 4, because I'm not making it into work as often as I should be, because I'm not getting the chance to rest. I also have a hospital appointment in July to go and see rheumatologists. One about my fibromyalgia, because they think that there's something that they can do there in pain management or physiotherapy to maybe help me move forward, and also because I need some diagnosis on an issue that I have with my joints. Now apparently fibromyalgia does affect the joints. I've read conflicting information. Some people say that it shouldn't, because it's not sort of a physical disease where the bone wears away or the collagen wears away, so it shouldn't be affecting them. You can get pain in the joints with fibromyalgia, which is standard with fibromyalgia, because a lot aches and pains when you've got fibro, but in regards to actual clicking and cracking and crunching of joints, which is what I have, it shouldn't be causing that. And I've had that for a very long time. I've had that when I was a teenager, and the first doctor that I saw about it discussed my weight, because as you can see, I'm not the skinniest of girls, and I am overweight. And they said, could it be your weight that's causing this? And I said, potentially my weight is making it worse. However, when I was in school and I was fit as a fiddle, I was on all the sports teams and all of the dance teams and drama teams, I was doing something every day after school, and I was a size 10, and I probably wasn't toned, because heck, I still liked pizza, but I was healthy and fit, and I could run for long distances, and I had, you know, perfect lungs, perfect stamina, and I could do lots of things. I vaguely remember a night where I was staying around my best friend's at the time's house, and it was 8:30 in the morning. I'd woken up, as I used to be able to wake up at 8:30 in the morning, chirpy as a bird, and I was walking around her room. I slept on one side of the bed, where you had to sort of get out on that side and walk your way around the front to get to the door to go to the toilet, and my knees were clicking so badly that it woke her up, and I sort of stopped in my tracks, because she cracked one eye open and said, if you crack one more time, I'm going to kill you. She wasn't a morning person anyway. As you can see, I made it out alive, but so it's an issue that I've always had with my joints, and it's never had, I mean, it hurts when it cracks. I mean, it always does. You know, you click and, you know, you stand up too fast and click your knee and you're, oh Christ, that hurt. But it happens with everything. My hips click, my knees click, my elbows, my fingers, my ankles. My ankles are the worst at the moment, and that probably isn't helped by my weight, but I'm not allowed to do a lot of exercise with my fibromyalgia. The best thing I can do is swimming, and if you can find me a swimming pool that doesn't charge you an arm and a leg to go every week, then I'll go. Yeah, I just really wanted to just do a little video to explain a little bit about it, and I know I haven't really gone into a lot of detail about what it is, but there's a long list of symptoms, and you know, if you saw the outtakes of my videos, if you saw the bits that I cut out, you'll just see numerous times where I just pause and look shell-shocked, because I've completely forgotten what I was talking about, what I was going to say next, and it's something that you can't help. It does get me down. I do get depression. I'll get bouts of it. I'll get bouts of agoraphobia, where I don't want to leave the house because I'm scared of hurting myself. My anxiety has manifested itself in a way of physical pain, because I have to deal with so much physical pain on a daily basis that anything that could potentially injure me or somebody else scares me. So I think I've waffled on long enough, and I think I'm going to cut a lot of this out, because I have talked about anxiety a lot, and I definitely want to do another video on that if that's something that you guys want. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.